This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Time to say good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sheila North. Janet Stewart is away. A Winnipeg restaurant and hotel owner is at his breaking point. In the past week, 4 Crowns Inn and Restaurant on McPhillips has been broken into 3 times, and they're not alone. The CBC's Aaron Broman has more.
Security cameras are up, but it doesn't seem to matter. Windows are smashed, alcohol stolen.
I'm pretty frustrated, as you can imagine. Very disheartened by it.
Owner Ravi Rambaran says this break-in happened between 2 and 4 Sunday morning, the 3rd time in 1 week.
From the exterior cameras, we can see that it's about 5 or 6 or 7 people. They're not afraid to get caught because they know they're probably just not going to get caught. And even if they do get caught, there's going to be next to no consequences.
Several other businesses in the area were also broken into last week, including the 7-Eleven, Shoppers, and the dog groomers.
Annoyed. It sucks because, everyone's it's the same thing that everyone always says. You feel violated, your space isn't safe anymore. Rambaran says the police respond each time, but
I think there's just so much more real, intense crime happening, such as stabbings and murders. We've literally been told that stabbings and murders are high priority right now. We can't really deal with broken glass situations immediately, unfortunately.
For now, he's installed a stronger alarm system and windows.
This is kind of a third strike for me to say, you know what, when am I just going to get some sleep and get a 9-to-5 job,
He says the crime has created a dialogue between business owners in the area, and now they're looking out for each other more. Aaron Broman, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The attacks against 3 men in Winnipeg yesterday is raising concern about the security of people experiencing homelessness. The CBC's Andrew Wilds explains.
This was one of 3 crime scenes early Monday morning. 3 men in their early 50s were found within an hour at 3 different locations on the streets of Point Douglas. This community activist says he's talked to someone who witnessed one of the attacks. He says by all indications, the victims were homeless.
This is just absolutely horrible, ugly situation, and everybody in the community is just furious, upset, scared.
Burroughs is the head of a crime prevention organization in the community. He says the attacks highlight that many people experiencing homelessness are also affected by crime and violence.
People talk about homelessness from all sorts of different directions. What we have to understand is the homeless are very vulnerable to be victims of crime. We talk about people sleeping in the bus shelters, 4 people died in bus shelters last winter. The homeless are extremely vulnerable.
They're fearful of their safety because they're at risk on the streets. There's increasing violence.
Jason Whitford, head of End Homelessness Winnipeg, says he isn't able to talk specifically about the men attacked in Point Douglas. He does say the number of people living in camps seems to be increasing, as well as the attacks against them. Whitford says there's an urgent need for action on the issue of homelessness.
Housing is the only solution to the issues that we're facing today. We need supportive housing, we need transitional housing, we need deep, affordable, rent-geared income housing to move people along.
Police say 2 of the men attacked are in critical condition. The other is stable. Investigators say they believe there are more victims of this attack who are yet to come forward. There are no arrests so far. Andrew Wiles, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The leader of the People's Party of Canada had someone in his sights today, the potential leader of another party. CBC's Bartley Kivas brings us this story about Maxime Bernier's stop in Winnipeg today.
Yeah, I tried to forget it.
He doesn't have a seat. He's not running for anything right now. But Maxime Bernier came to Winnipeg with something on his mind. His former party, the Federal Conservatives, a party he claims is not very conservative anymore.
They're just conservative during the leadership campaign. After that, the Conservative Party will switch to the left like they always did. We cannot count on them.
In 2.5 weeks, the federal Conservatives choose a new leader, and this man, Carleton MP Pierre Poilievre, is the frontrunner. Bernier claims Poilievre is no different than the last Tory leader, Aaron O'Toole. He campaigned right to win the leadership and then tacked to the left.
O'Toole spoke, and during his campaign for the leadership, he said, "I'm the true blue. Vote for me. I'm the true conservative, the true blue." And we know what happened after that. He moved to the left to have more support in Ontario and Quebec.
Bernier spoke to a few dozen people over breakfast this morning at this hotel in Charleswood. He talked about limiting immigration, cutting back on spending, and he spoke dismissively about gender diversity.
Now there's 5 or 10 or 20 genders in this country. No, it's not popular to speak against that. And if you do that, you'll be like a racist against the LGBT. I don't know how many letters they have.
The audience included 8 future Manitoba PPC candidates.
I'm very confident that we will see a member in Parliament that is a member of the PPC party.
There were also PPC supporters.
We're concerned about being tracked and identified through some sort of passport. We don't want to see that happen.
The PPC earned 5% of the popular vote last fall. That means 1 in 20 people who cast a ballot voted purple. Bart Lekivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.
A community is celebrating the life and legacy of Sunshine House founder Margaret Ormond. The 72-year-old passed away Friday after a long battle with cancer and rheumatoid arthritis. Sunshine House opened in 1999 to support people living with AIDS and HIV. It became a harm reduction center and gathering place for anyone who needed it, in large part due to Ormond's leadership. Luc Doucette says his mother touched countless lives.
She was highly respected and highly trusted and highly loved for the way that she delivered non-judgmental and a form of public health care that was very centered around the harm reduction model.
A sacred fire has been burning behind Sunshine House for the past 4 days in honor of Ormond. A memorial will be held at the West End Cultural Centre next Tuesday for her. And a man in his 70s is missing from Winnipeg's West End. 77-year-old Johan Yu was last seen in the West End yesterday around 8 in the morning. He's 5'9" with a medium build. He has a limp and walks with a cane. He was last seen wearing a blue shirt, jeans, and pulling a small purple cart. Police say he's vulnerable and ask anyone to have seen him to contact them. Hundreds rallied last night on the grounds of the Manitoba legislature, calling for the release of Ukrainian prisoners of war. Tomorrow marks Ukrainian Independence Day and 6 months since the Russian invasion. Speakers last night raised concerns Russia may escalate attacks. After speeches and singing both the Canadian and Ukrainian anthems, the crowd marched to the Canadian Museum of Human Rights. Maria Puhach immigrated from Ukraine more than 10 years ago. She has relatives who are being held as POWs.
We are here to advocate and to represent and to show the world, to save the soldiers and our protectors of the Ukraine who were captured by the Russian forces in Azovstal. They're being tortured, they're being killed, despite the fact that at the beginning, the Red Cross advocated for their safety, and now, after one of the buildings with over 50 of those soldiers being killed and 70 being injured, we are very concerned for their safety, especially after that Twitter post of the Russian embassy in the UK announcing that the Ukrainian soldiers deserve to be killed and executed in the most brutal way. And from what we heard, they are thinking of executing those soldiers on the Independence Day of Ukraine. And we hope to save them and show the world that the Ukrainian war is still going on, despite the fact that the news haven't covered it and have quieted down since. It's terrifying, especially in our family. We have 2 soldiers that are captured right now. My mom's brother-in-law and their son. They're captured there, and from We know nothing of what is going on. The last time they have contacted us was May 19th, I believe, and we have not heard from them since.
CBC meteorologist John Sauter joins us now, and you've been tracking all kinds of active weather this afternoon, hey?
Yeah, again, the southwest portion of the province getting hit with some very active weather, some Toonie-sized hail and some wind gusts as high as 90 kilometers per hour. We're going to start with radar and show you where this area of rain is to the west of us and how things are moving through even the Winnipeg area, very close to us to the north perimeter. You know, you just go north of the perimeter and you're up into some rain up through Gimli and Arborg. But the main action is back to the southwest of us, kind of expected today. That's where the upper level dynamics were right to support a little bit of severe storm activity. Remember, severe storms have wind gusts 90 kilometers per hour or higher, hail of a certain size, 2 centimeters in diameter. So a couple of things here are already qualifying. This is the warning area, Pilot Mound, Crystal City, Killarney. This has been shifting over the last couple of hours to the east, and then we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect that extends back to the southwest corner of the province. Bring in the lightning tracking, and you can see how these storms have been moving from the northwest to the southeast through areas like Killarney now and Glenborough and Treehorn, and this is where we're Treeherne, pardon me, and this is where we're seeing some nickel-sized hail from this storm right in the Treeherne down into Crystal City area, and some Toonie-sized hail on the south end of that band of rain. Now reaching up into Portage-la Prairie as well, where we're not seeing the criteria met quite, so no warning in effect in the Portage-la Prairie area. These rogue storms here, the ones that are outside that main area, are not quite as severe. We've got another fairly stationary one down to the southeast, but in the Winnipeg area, pretty clear at the moment, just north of us. That's where we're seeing some showers. And our temperature has really dropped 4 degrees in the last hour, now at 18. North winds at 26 kilometers per hour and the dew point at 14. We look at futurecast. You'll see how this system will continue to spin away through the evening hours. I am expecting some rain showers here in the Winnipeg area through the evening, just not the storm activity. And then by tomorrow morning, the north starts in sunshine. We've got a little bit of cloud here in the south, and then that kind of switches around, and we get more cloud in through the far north, Thompson and north, for the afternoon, and sunshine in the south and in northwestern Ontario. And high pressure is going to start to build in from the west and keep us nice and clear through into Thursday, where we have a separate system in northern Manitoba in the northeast. And right on into Friday as well. You can see that surface high back to the west of us on Thursday afternoon. So expect lots of sunshine, not just Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday as high pressure settles in and keeps us nice and clear. Projected rainfall will be a little bit of a guess at this point. You can see that the higher amounts are to the south and then to the southeast as that system continues to pull away tonight. 12 degrees the low in Winnipeg. Evening showers, the chance of a storm, although I think the storms will stay southwest of Winnipeg. That's what your morning looks like. And then in the afternoon, still lots of sunshine. A cooler 22, north winds at 25 to 30. But Wednesday is the cooler day of the week because then we start to warm up again. Back to a seasonal 24 on Thursday, a sunny 27 on Friday. And then the next system, timing a little uncertain, but we'll see some increasing cloud and some late day showers or storms on Saturday.
The weather update is brought to you by Home Equip, your trusted local source for Pride Mobility scooters. From sales to rental and repair, our team is here to serve you.
This week about languages spoken in Canada. So yesterday I spoke with the principal of a Tagalog immersion school. Here is that interview. It's a trend we've seen over the years right here in our province. A new census data confirms what folks have been noticing. After English and French, Tagalog is the most common language spoken at home. 4.8% of the province's population speaks Tagalog, one of the languages spoken in the Philippines. Our next guest has long been advocating Tagalog immersion in schools. Porfiria Pedrina is a teacher and vice principal at Arthur E. Wright Community School. That's where the Seven Oaks School Division runs its Filipino English bilingual program. Welcome. And what did you think of the statistics when you heard them?
Well, thank you for having me. And upon hearing this great news, I was so ecstatic. It's so exciting to hear that Filipino language has become the second largest among the people here in Manitoba.
Yes, and over 63,000 people speak that language. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, yes, that is true. And we are grateful for the opportunity that is given to us as immigrants here in Manitoba to be able to still continue using our heritage language.
And each census shows an increase in Filipino speakers, 15,000 more than 2011 and nearly 6,500 from 2016. What's your interpretation of that trend?
I feel that there are more people from the Philippines who want to settle here in Manitoba than other provinces because of the great community that is created here by the province and the opportunities that are given to our children, especially having to learn Filipino as a language in school. That is awesome.
And how much do you think factors like the Filipino English program at your school contribute to those numbers?
I think we are contributing, I wouldn't say that rate, but we are contributing little by little as we grow as a program, as a Filipino English bilingual program. We are contributing to this number, to these statistics.
And what's the future of the program? Do we need more of it or less of it now that there's more speakers?
I feel that, I think that our program should be replicated by other schools, not only in Seven Oaks School Division, but across the province and, to say it, across the country.
And what would it take to see more of those programs expanded in other schools?
We feel that we can also be a model for other schools to follow. Those who have large Filipino population in their schools can reach out to us, and we would be able to help them as much as we can in order to make the program grow and for us to address as well the language and cultural needs of the newcomers, the immigrants, the first, second, and third generation Filipino Canadians, as well as those from diverse backgrounds who are wanting to learn about the Filipino heritage, language, and culture.
Do you think the program is open to people that are not from the community but want to learn the language?
Yes, we are actually hoping that we are not only catering to the Filipino Canadians, but we're also catering to the needs of those who want to experience, to learn about the language and culture of the Filipino people.
Thank you so much, Porfiria Pedrina. Thank you so much. As a teacher and vice principal at Arthur E. Wright Community School, that's where Seven Oaks School Division runs its Filipino English bilingual program. Great to talk to you. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
And as we head to break, we want to remind you to subscribe to our CBC Manitoba YouTube page. Your latest headlines are on there, and we are also now posting the entire newscast. Catch up and stay connected anytime. More news after the break. You're watching CBC Winnipeg News.